The bottom left in the red, excuse me. He's my favorite Protoss player out of China. It's Firefly. His opponent in the upper right in the blue. He's the guy you're all here for. Playing from Korea for Basilisk. It's Reynor. And I love, by the way, that, well, first of all, this is a very aggressive forward hatch coming out of Reynor. But the wild thing about this is, as we see it going forward, we're going to have to see how Firefly chooses to respond. But the wild thing about this is that you might think that, okay, the Zerg's taking the forward base because the rich gas. That's pretty cool, right? What this means is you get 2 gas for the price of 1. It's actually, you can consider it almost a mineral boost as much as it is a gas boost, which is pretty funny to think about. Because you need less drones to get your gas mining up, which means more drones can go on minerals, and kind of funky. Anyways, you would think this is for gas mining. In fact, no, Reynor's just rallying over to minerals. But when we've seen a lot of these builds, and I've seen a decent amount of these forward third bases, or forward naturals, I guess, over the course of the last 16 hours or so, casting them round 4, round 5 of ESL Masters, and not often do we see them actually going for the rich gas. Generally, it's just for this aggressive position, because you can start a queen walk from here, right? You can get your creep spread getting started pretty early, and all of that means that, yeah, you know, technically, what you would think this is for is not exactly what it's for. This is a fascinating response out of Firefly, though. This is a very, very quick robo. Generally, when you see someone going, they're going to say, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to respond to this aggressive position. They go like a depth or something and try to take advantage of, well, you know, this third base is, or excuse me, I guess this forward natural position is pretty far away from the main. I can shade around, I can do things. But Firefly, not at all. Immortal on the way. And by the way, when we talk about this, we've started to see some, I mean, maybe I'm a little biased. I think Protoss all-ins, as a Zerg player, I hate them. I think it terrifies me. I don't like it very much. But as a fan of the game, I think all-ins, I think life is a little bit more fun when all-ins work. When they are something that you have in your arsenal that you might not otherwise have. So this is a 6-gate immortal all in, right? We got 1 immortal. Effectively, okay, so he's still mining a little bit of gas. I was going to say this is effectively a Marjorie, right? You get 1 immortal, you get a warp prism, you get a bunch of zealots and go from there. But he's going to get a sentry or 2. Is the rest of this gas mining just for sentry? Oh, he's going to get a 2nd immortal. Okay. Interesting here. Anyways, what I'm saying is I think life is pretty cool. I do enjoy Starcraft a little bit more when all-ins are viable. And I think that's what we're going to see. So Firefly, he's got an immortal on the way. He's going up to 8 gates, I think. What was it? 4, 5. Yeah, 6. Actually, nah. 5, 6 gate all-in. Coming out of Firefly. He's going to have these immortals. 2 of them out of the robo. I don't expect to see. Yeah, there we go. All gassed out of the way. And this is just running pell-mell up the ramp. What do we have here for Reynor? He's got 29 army supplies, sure, but it's all Lings, and just a bunch of zealots against Lings just don't do very much. Where's our sentry, though? The sentry dead? Did he dive on the top of the sentry and kill that off? I think he... No. Huh, we're using that. That's pretty cool. Anyways, the sentry was never made, I guess. So for now, Spore on the high ground is going to be here. Lings around on the backside. Doesn't really get a lot done. And with this Spore going down, that's 1 round of anti-air that's just not really there. We're going to see Queens fall down here as well. Zealots on the backside, they're a bit of a problem. And now the Immortals have to be very, very careful. Warp Prism getting very low, but the Queens are going to go down. And that means there's nothing really, not enough anti-air right now. Immortals still going strong. With this much here, the third base starting to get wide open a little bit more. 2 Queens on the map. Warp Prism has to play a little bit further back. So for now, for the moment, you got to be very careful. But the Immortals here just chunking down these Queens. Not enough. Absolutely not enough transfuses right now. So Queens are going to start to go down here. Warp Prism on the backside. Queen tries to get on top of the shot. Is it going to get it? It will. We need another one. We need another Warp Prism, and there is no gas. Losing the Warp Prism is the death knell for this push. It was a pretty cool idea. I like a world where all-ins work. But, oh, well, no, it's not going to be enough. The Warp Prism's down means Immortals are not microable, even with 10 drones dying. Firefly, okay, so he killed a lot of workers. He killed all the Queens. Is this enough? He's back into mining gas. You know, there is going to be some transition out of this. Reynor does have his third base. He's going to drone up pretty heavily. Actually, it's not even going to drone up pretty heavily. He's just going to run across the map, which I think is kind of fair. The Warp Prism is done. Or the Warp Prism's been remade, but there's no tech, right? There's a Robo. There's no Twilight. There's no Charge. There's no Blink. There's nothing that really is a nice response to what exactly it is that Reynor's going to be able to, even if it's just Speedling Roach, right? So that is a little scary. Firefly is up. I mean, we're 7 minutes in. Firefly's up in workers, which is important. But again, this isn't all in out of fire. This wasn't all in out of Firefly. I think this game is, I don't know if I'm going to say playable, but at least it's somewhat manageable. And I love the single stalker here. 4 stalkers to kill a worker means that you're just not going to kill anything. You know, there is that. But warping a couple more stalkers, maybe get a little bit more done. Lings are going to try to shadow this as much as they can, but hey, you can just pick up, go away. And there's no, okay, sentries on the way. More immortals on the way here. Is there just a round 2 for Firefly? I kind of expected to see him get a Twilight, you know, go from there. As not all 4 stalkers get. Like, did he lose a stalker? Oh no, he did lose a stalker. Okay. A little bit of damage is fine, of course, but you know, losing that stalker does mean you don't really have the one shot, and that's kind of annoying. But he can get. Okay, no, he's not going to get this Overlord. But okay, there we go. There's the Twilight. There's the Robo. The question, though, it really is an important question, is whether you can take a third base with Firefly. Because right now, like, Firefly seems like he's gearing up for round 2 of an attack. His Stalker's on the low ground, trying to maybe get a couple more drones here. There's a Spine, a lot of Roaches. Doesn't really seem all that likely. Reynor has his third hatch, you know. Firefly getting that third Nexus. I was going to say it feels really hard, but here's the thing. You know, you look at this north side base where Firefly is trying to take this third base. You got to knock some rocks down if you're Reynor. You got to mine out a mineral wall if you're Reynor. There's no easy access point. Okay, there we go. Reynor's just pulling drones. Long distance mining out of it. You're going to mine out of this mineral field pretty quickly, and then he's going to have that run by potential. But the attack at the front is kind of scary. There's a shield battery overcharge that's going to try to keep this pylon alive. And now Immortals, the fun of 3 Immortals can deal with this, which seems funky because this is a lot of supply, but with a Warp Prism right here and with nothing to really deal with it, you can handle that. You're going to be fine. Now Firefly, third base on the way, of course, where eventually, there we go. The mineral patches are going to get mined out. Lings are going to try to show up on the north side. Immortals here, I don't know how much they get done. Biles are not going to land. And, well, Reynor, he's having his cake and he's eating it too, right? We're going up to pretty quick lurkers here. Upgraded lurkers are the goal, as Listling run by, killing so many probes. And technically, this is something that Firefly should be able to handle. And it looks like he's going to be able to handle it at the end. Oh, not only just handle it at the end of the day, he's going to cancel the 4th base. He can get his 3rd up and cancel the 4th base pretty nicely. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Into the main base, Roaches are going to explode. Oh, if he can get the Hydra Den, that'd be great. For now, though, going to try to assassinate this Queen. Not enough damage for it, but it does zone out. The Queen's not really going to be able to get on top of the Warp Prism. And behind the Stalkers on the way. We have charge done. You'd love to see Blink. That's the big deal. +1's just about done. Firefly's supply is not horrible, actually. There a world where this works. Can he hit a timing before Hydras are turning into Lurkers? But there's no Lurker Den on the way just yet, but that's obviously what the Hive is for. You know, we'd like to see the Lurker Den soon. Firefly's on the map right now. He's got 3 Immortals, Disruptors, no Blink, yeah, this is just charged. He's moving in with a bunch of sentries. This is round 2. It's a 2.5 base all in. Technically, he's got a 3rd base here, but not really a lot on that. But losing those sentries early does hurt. 4 Ravagers are going to warp in. He's going to try to find his way up the ramp. Good force fields to start here. On Disruptor shots aren't incredible, though. 2nd shot, a little bit better. Going to knock down Hydras, Ravagers, and this is kind of the slow burn push, right? As long as your Disruptors don't die, and that's what this is about. And actually, no Spine on the high ground either. Does mean these Immortals, they have a little bit better access. Supplies are pretty close. Drones are starting to fall down, and I'm not saying Firefly's going to win with this. I'm really not. Oh, Disruptors. Oh, nice job. 3 Hydras go down. Disruptors have to stay alive. Oh, they're getting fat-fingered here. Roaches on the backside. Force fields are okay. But no way, right? With the Disruptors getting fat-fingered, where they're going down, it's a full surround from Reynor. I tried to believe. I didn't believe enough. Reynor, he takes game 1, but hey, cool world. Full games out of Firefly. That was fun. Firefly go and get aggressive. All in, actually, in game number 1 with the Immortals and effectively a Marjorie, right? A build that I've lost many games to. A build that was very popular at the highest levels, actually, for quite a while. And it almost worked. I think it had a world where it might have worked. But losing the Warp Prism, he took so much damage when he was trying to snipe the queens down initially. It went down to like 20% hull, something like that. Tried really hard. And, you know, he did keep the Warp Prism alive a little bit longer. But if you're going to... You cannot... The queen was so low, too. Most of the queens were dead. Your job, it's almost better... Yeah, it's almost better to lose an Immortal and keep the Prism alive than the other way around. I think that is a fair way to talk about it. It's just, it's so important. And if you're worried that it's going to get low, Chrono at a second one. You need that ability. You need that ability to micro your Warp Prism, or you micro your Immortals. That's big thing number 1. And also to warp in. If you don't have warp ins into the fight, if you're not breaking Defender's advantage, you're not going to beat the Zerg. So I like the idea. And we've seen it work, you know. Night Phoenix did a really, really cool, all-in, actually, on Crimson Court. We're seeing some really cool all-ins on Crimson Court because it is so short, because you have that ramp and the choke and everything. Night Phoenix had a super cool all-in versus Lambo. That was a double Robo, double Speed Prism, double Colossus for Disruptor all-in. Super cool. Maples did a single Robo version of that. So we're seeing some pretty cool stuff. Fortunately for Firefly, didn't really work out. And in general, you know, obviously I don't expect to see Firefly win this series. If you look at the head-to-head, where's my head-to-head button? There we go. If you look at the head-to-head here, Reynor has never lost to Firefly. 95-5. Now that Reynor's up 1-0 in the series, mean score's at 2-0, so not surprising. But even still, I think it would be fun. Interesting, though. So we're gonna got a couple of depths thinking about shading in, but they're not really gonna do all that much for now. They had a little pressure on the third base. It doesn't really do much. He's opening Phoenix here, and he's not hiding them, and he's getting a second Phoenix. Huh? I can't remember the last time I saw a single Stargate Phoenix. That's actually kind of cool. He got two Phoenix, and so generally when you go, so okay, I'm gonna open Phoenix. It's Phoenix into Oracle. You get one Phoenix, 2 Oracles. You lift the Queen's fine. By the way, this Overlord is dead. It's a lot of damage on the Phoenix certainly, but knocking the first Overlord down is pretty nice, forcing everything back home. But generally, what you do is you open Phoenix into Oracle. You get 2 Oracles. The Phoenix dives in, lifts the Queen. Oracles get a lot of damage. And like that's the play that has been around for a long time. I mean, you don't. I say a long time. We don't really see it all that often. That was a Heart of the Swarm thing for the most part. But in this case, third base is on the way for Firefly. Absolutely. He got 2 Phoenix, not 1. And 2 Phoenix don't really do a lot. I mean, they kill Overlords twice as fast, I guess. But it's not like they kill drones all that quickly. Oracle behind it here defensively on the third base. Robo getting started. This is a very new way of playing Starcraft. I'm very curious to see where Firefly's going to go here. He's a creative player. He really is. He is, of course, in the playoffs. It took him to round 5 for him and Oliveira both to make the playoffs, which is wild because they were in the finals last season. For the Asia region, all right, for ESL Masters for the regional. That's a dead Phoenix. That is unfortunate. That's really not what you're looking for. But Firefly, the reason he's impressed me, and a large part is because it seems like his understanding of how the game goes is pretty cool. He, on his best, has incredible game sense. By the way, there's no Spore in the third base, so this Oracle, it flies over 3 queens. It's going to take a lot of damage. Gets 2 drones. If you take a better angle there, I think you get a lot. But as it stands, it really doesn't get a lot done. So, +1's on the way. 5 additional gateways. We're adding in Immortals. There's no Twilight. And I think this is functionally a fake third. This is going to be an Immortal Sentry all in off of a 3 Stargate unit Stargate opener. I love what Firefly is doing in that he's really trying to pull the wool over Reynor's eyes, showing some weird stuff. I just don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, Reynor's got a roach run down eventually. He's got a bunch of lings adding in spines here just to be very careful because he knows that Firefly is it's not cheesy, right? He's got a third base. Although again, this is kind of a fake third. There's one probe here. It's not probe. He has cut probes for quite a while now. This is a +1 immortal sentry timing. It's a lot of sentries too. And it's funny, you might say, okay, maybe this is because the sentries got buffed. No, none of the buffs here. I joke about, oh, you know, they strip the shields and they do really good. Oh, those force fields whiffed totally. But there is nothing that impacts the sentries here. Unless Reynor wanted to respond with banelings and then to take more banelings to kill the sentries because they're no longer light units. But otherwise, there is nothing that has changed with the sentries that make them better in this matchup. Firefly is just reaching back into the past. He's pulling a parting. The soul train's here. He's going choo-choo. And I truly don't know if this is going to work. I don't think it does. I think there's a reason we don't see this anymore. But who knows? Maybe the Oracle on the top. Maybe the Phoenix that is still here is going to be enough. I truly don't know. But for now, the reason we don't see this is because Ravagers exist. And Ravagers shut down all the force fields. For now, the biles are a little slow. So force fields, they zone things in. They lock things in for a little bit longer. We're starting to see some queens go down. Ravagers go down. Warp Prism Wait, the Warp Prism dead? Never mind. Warp Prism died. Didn't even notice that. Okay, this all-in is done. Firefly is dead. Reynor's moving into the next round. Just like that. What even happened? How'd the Prism die? Okay, the Prism was very far back. I mean, this was well timed, right? Certainly, +1 was done pretty quickly. Prism's right here. Oh, I love this. I didn't even notice. Ravager. Okay, that's super sick. Look at that. Reynor from the backside runs 3 Ravagers and just to snipe the Prism. Dude's too good. That's fantastic. Anyway, Reynor takes the 2-0.